Alright, everybody, welcome to HGR on a Wednesday night. Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth with Raging Idiot Racing Network, bringing you coverage tonight of the High Gear Racing Series. A couple of things to take note tonight. Mark Mondale is the next driver up to try to win $163 extra. Part of the pre-spin challenge. Tommy here. At the moment, no. But Mark Mondale tonight, if he can win the race, he'll be $163 richer. So that's what Mondale has to do tonight. He's got a star-studded field against him though right now. 8 drivers opposed to lap. 15 drivers registered. Right now, Jessica Childs. Top of the board, James Waring. John Van Blair come in third. Jeffrey Ford fourth. Terry Wilson rounds out top 5. Ambrose Canelo, Eric White, and Michael Wingo are the only ones to post a lap so far. Jason Branch on track. Let's see if he can't get a word with somebody. John Ward, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
My buddy coming off of what was a wild run in the SummerSlam 499. We move on past from that. We moved to Xfinity at Daytona. What are your expectations going in tonight? What's the game plan for the 92?
Hey, we usually run Talladega. We're going over here to Daytona, a little narrower, little more tighter racing. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to stay up front. Usually I sit in the back and wait, but I'm gonna try to stay up front and see how it goes. Try to get a good qualifying spot and make a good pit stops. We don't never race here, so it's gonna be a little different. I don't know how it's gonna be, but I'm gonna try to keep her up front and go from there.
All right, buddy. Best of luck to you. The 2023 PGR champion right now has not posted a lap yet. My fault.
I'm gonna go out. I'm fixing to go out now.
All right, sounds good then. Unfortunately, right now, Terry Wilson is not in a Discord to be interviewed. Right now, with 3 minutes to go, Ward rolling out. Probably going to have a chance to get one qualifying run in. Another driver looking to turn his luck around. Sean Corbett is back for more action tonight in that 45 machine. But right now, Wilson and Branch running one and two. John Ward behind him somewhere anyway. There's Ward. Can't get an interview with Jeffrey Ford real quick. Jeffrey Ford, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, you got me.
Well, buddy, right now, first off, making your debut tonight for HGR. Sitting fourth on the leaderboard. What's one thing you can expect to happen with these cars at this track tonight that could be critical in determining who wins this race and who walks away with empty pockets?
Got to keep the sheet metal clean. Seriously though, this will be my second race in 4 years, but basically got to keep it clean. Got to be there at the end to have a shot.
All right, buddy. And I do want to ask you, as far as pit strategy goes tonight, about when can we see drivers potentially ducking into pit road if it goes green?
With a 70% fuel, I'd hate to guess, but I'm thinking that you can probably go maybe 15, 20 laps, but I'm not really sure since I haven't driven these cars, like I said, in about 4 years. Once we get going, I'm going to take a look at the numbers, but probably Ambrose would be better served to answer that question.
Oh, God. All right, buddy. Well, best of luck to you tonight, Jeffrey. Hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
Hey, that would be the most unusual outcome, but we're going to give it a shot.
All right, buddy. Best of luck to you right now. Jeffrey Ford, 4th quickest in practice. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Right now, let's see if we can't get away with Mark Vondale real quick. Mark Vondale.
Internet.
Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. Sorry to interrupt there.
That's all right, buddy.
Real fast before you go out for qualifying, I want to ask you, you got the opportunity to do what nobody else has been able to do, to include your boss, Kenneth McCullough. You got a chance at $163 extra tonight. What's it going to take for the 59 to get up there to the front and be the first one to get some extra money?
Well, number one thing is my internet's got to start cooperating with me a little bit.
Oh,
Been blinking out a little bit. It's not throwing me out of the race, but I just don't want to run in with somebody. I'll probably run the back most of the race and then come to the front like I usually do. See if I can't win it.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck to you now. I'll let you get ready for qualifying. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to qualify. I'm going to start right in the back.
All right, buddy. Well, Mark Vondale, all right, guys, work cut out for him if he wants that pre-spin bonus. Appreciate your time, buddy. Best of luck.
Thanks, Garrett. Take care, buddy.
You too. Right now, we're going to jump in, get a look at some drivers. Eric White. Actually, I believe he's going to be the first one to possibly start his lap. He is. So it'll be the White, it'll be Corbett, followed by the 71 of Chase Rockford, Jeff Murrick, Terry Wilson, Joshua McCullough. Both the McCulloughs are in the house tonight. There, we got a whole big star-studded field now. Several drivers looking to knock down the door tonight. Richard Elliott is in the house tonight, driver of the O2. Right now, Corbett on track to put a faster lap, but right now, Eric White will post the first lap to beat. Right behind him will be Corbett out in the line. Corbett fastest. Jessica Giles now starting her first lap. Well, don't be mistaken, because right now wearing
Jim Bob.
Yeah, don't scare me like that. Who's in here? What's up?
It's
What's up?
Ambrose. It's Ambrose.
What's
Are
up,
we gonna
Ambrose?
do this? This is gonna be a great race, isn't it?
All right, this is gonna be an awesome race.
Hell yeah, brother. How you doing?
Pretty good right now. You on the air?
Yeah. We're gonna make Jimmy proud tonight, brother. It's gonna be the clean old race, and it's gonna be some squirrels up front, and that's gonna be great.
Is a blind squirrel gonna catch a beer?
Maybe. We'll see.
All right, buddy. We are gonna see.
All right.
Yeah. Calling
Thank
you
you,
shot
Jim Bob.
already. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah, brother. See you later.
All right, buddy. Ambrose Good Evil joined me up there in the booth for racetrack. This is the critical point. How do you set up the tri-oval at the line? John Ward, is it enough? It is 481. Great lap. Coming in right at the end. Jason Branch, 7th quickest. Still got a couple more drivers to go. Actually, not really. That'll be it, as a matter of fact. John Ward on pole. Joshua McCullough started at the edge of the pit lane. Richard Elliott slides into the 4th position. 13 drivers made a qualifying lap. 10 other drivers have not, so 23 cars roughly on hand for tonight's event. So we've already interviewed John Ward. MMS is in the house tonight. David Sheets, Jeff Murray, Josh McCullough, Mark Vondale. Of course, going for the bonus, Matt Patton, Tucker McLennan. MMS is in full strength tonight. Sean Corbett as well. Corbett's got a teammate tonight. Dager Pros has Waring, Brantz, Joey Masowitz, John Ward, Michael Wingo. Of course, Blind Squirrel, Henry Ford, Jessica Childs. All right. Get a look at Eric White's machine. So right now, while we wait, might get an interview here. Get a look at the starting lineup for tonight's 42 laps at Daytona. John Ward on pole, Jeff Mert in 2nd, Sean Corbett 3rd, Richard Elliott 4th, James Ware, Joshua McCullough, Eric White, Jason Branch, Chris Rockford in the 71. I know the name is different. I'm told 2 different things. Needless to say, Chase Rockford is in the field tonight. Terry Wilson starting in 10th. Michael Wingo, Jeffrey Ford runs out the fast 12. David Sheets, Joey Masowitz, Ancient World Gaming number 64. Austin Green's in the field. Douglas Camp for Blind Squirrel Racing as well. Jessica Childs, Tucker McLennan, Matthew Patton, Kenneth McCullough rounds out the top 20. Joey Gladdy, Ambrose Caneva, and Mark Vondale rounds out the field tonight. All right, now let's see. Get on. We can't get a word with somebody deep in the field here. Michael Wingo, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yo, yo!
So, buddy, it was a very rough SummerSlam week for you, not making the feature. How do you turn this around this week, try to get that 25 out the victory lane?
Well, it's been a while since I raced Daytona, but it's something different. So I believe I'm gonna finish at the front tonight. I feel it.
All right.
Feel something anyway.
All right, buddy. Well, God, y'all are amped up tonight, but all right, buddy.
Yeah.
But, buddy,
All right, buddy.
I'll let you get back up there and take a pros. Best of luck to you tonight.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
And this is an amped up crowd. All right, now it'll be John Ward, Jeff Murray leading them to the green. James Waring did not start the race, so right now 22 drivers will take the green flag. It'll be John Ward, Jeff Murray bringing them down to the Geico restart zone. They're rolling. 42 laps. Look at drone cam right now. Jeff Murray ahead of John Ward. Side by side for third between Elliott and Corbett. Joshua McCullough, Eric White side by side for about the 5th position. And at the line, Jeff Murray will get it barely. Right now, Ward back out front, get a great push by Corbett. See top lane starting to slowly fall back. Richard Elliott right behind the 60 of Merck. Really right now it's got to spread out for the moment. I mean, I'm not surprised if we'll see drivers eventually work their way up to the front from the back. But right now, Ward out front for the moment. I'll be honest with you, I'm actually surprised seeing Ward at the front. Normally, the 92 usually starts out towards the back, just rides for a little while, but perhaps a different John Ward tonight. Right outside lane. Murray's right up to the outside of Ward again, down the back straightaway. Murray trying to get the run. Right on board with Sean Corbett. Again, a great look at Ward's car. Not really pushing Ward. Does not want to push Ward out of the corner. You see the 92 is going to jump up, cover the outside lane. Joshua McCullough stuck out to dry 3 wide. And, of course, unlike Talladega, where you can make through. Oh, Elliott's going to get turned. Richard Elliott, Joey's involved in it. David Sheets. Jessica Childs is involved. Kenneth McCullough as well. Man. Chase Rockford. Whole front end's locked up on that car. That's massive damage. Mark Von Dale, maybe he got through it. Do not believe so. Well, we know Richard Elliott gets turned. We'll go in and look at it. See what happens here. Hard to really say. It looks like Elliott. Think what it was. He hesitated. Think what it is if you'll look at it. We're going to enter one. I think he sort of hesitates there, or it's the last minute decision to get to the bottom, so you don't get stuck 3 wide. Unfortunately, Childs just does make contact. And it was enough to send him on around. Jeffrey Ford barely making it through. Michael Wingo squeaks through. A little bit of damage to the 25. Terry Wilson, he's going to get through this. The Savage. Sheets. Austin Green sneaking through. McLennan. Man. Wingo eventually does go all the way around. Right on board with Richard Elliott. Now we'll go right on board with David Sheets through this. He's going to try to sneak through the ball. He just is going to get tagged and hard into the wall. Well, that's what we're right on board with Mark Von Dale. See if he gets anything out of this. Season wrecking. Von Dale's almost going to go to a complete stop. He is going to sneak through this. But he'll sneak through this virtually unscathed. All right, now at the front of the field, the top 5 as they run. Terry Wilson at the front, Douglas Camp, John Ward, Sean Corbett, Jeff Mert. The top 5 as they run. Should be getting the one to go here. Going to be 35 to go whenever to take the green flag. Before we go to green, let's get Jessica Childs in here. Jessica Child, Garrett Jenkins up here in a bit. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do. How are ya?
I'm doing pretty good. We look back on the replay. Did you feel like that maybe was a bit of a late block on the 0-2 to get to the bottom? What was your take of things?
I think it was. My car was completely demolished. Yeah, I didn't really have anywhere to go at that point.
Well, I want to ask you this last question, then I'll let you head on back up to Ambrose's bunch. But you've already got one fast repair already used with 35 to go, and they take the green. How is this going to affect maybe how you run the rest of this race?
I might just hang out in the back for a little while. That's kind of where I started. I didn't qualify, but just gonna hang out in the back and try to avoid the wrecks.
All right, Jessica. Well, best of luck to you. See what you can do. Tell Ambrose I said, hey.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too. So speaking of the drivers already used their fast repairs. Childs, David Sheets, Chris Rockford, or Chase Rockford, Joey Masowitz, Richard Elliott, and the 6th one of Joey Gladia. Well, the bad news for them is Elliott and Joey already 2 laps down. Potentially, if there's more cautions, they'll get back into this race. But right now, both of them being scored 22nd and 23rd. All right, Terry Wilson, Douglas Camp brings them to the restart zone. We're underway with 35 to go. Great start by Douglas. Terry maybe sleep out of line a little bit, missed a shift, hard to really say. But right now, Kent with an awesome restart, getting pushed by Sean Corbett. Well, Terry's going to be getting pushed by John Ward here. Jeff Murray Starts from McCullough, Ambrose, Knievel on that bottom lane behind Terry. Right now, outside lane prevailing. Wilson still trying to pull that bottom lane back up. Right now, Camp is clear for the moment. He's going to come down in front of 3, and now the 408's got the lane control. Got lane control. And probably the best thing he'll do, he definitely don't want somebody experienced like Sean Corbett to get up to the lead, because then Corbett will use the lane control to his advantage. Right now, Corbett pulling the outside lane. But being followed by Eric White, Jason Branch, Tucker McLennan, the 06. The Sheets. Oh, Douglas about gets turned. Terry about gets wrecked. Hang on to her. No, they're not. They're wrecking big. Jason Branch, Jeff Murray, James Waring, 71 of Rockford involved in it. McLennan, Vondell getting through. Austin Green about coming to a stop. Jessica Childs, just talked to her, is involved. Terry Wilson. It is the big one on lap 8. Jason Branch, Snow Hood. James Waring, massive damage, left front locked up. Martin Vondell did get a piece of it. The McCullough Motorsports entry going for $163 extra. We'll have to take a fast repair early. Well, we know where it started. Terry Wilson already out. Let's look at what happens. Set this up coming out the tri-oval. But he's going to get the 408, a bit of a bad push right there. Douglas saves it. That was awesome. Corbett gets into the wall. Terry's going to somewhat save. Well, no, he won't. Ward's going to get a piece of that. Terry's going to go hard into the outside wall. I remember Knievel stinking through there. However, it's a hornet's nest and a junkyard behind Wilson. Let's see if we can't get a look at Eric White here. Well, we saw the part where. Well, we saw where it starts, but now there's another wreck behind them. But Douglas going to do an awesome save. Terry puts Corbin into a wall from there. Jason Branch hard. Oh my gosh. Eric White upside down, back on all 4. Motor blows, and from there, that takes out a lot of the MMS guys. Vondale with damage, obviously. There's McLennan. Jeff Merrick went through the grass. Right on board with Eric White. Not what you want to see early in this race. Right on board with James Waring. Well, Waring's going to be one of them. He ain't going to have nowhere to go through this. Bottom's your best friend. Gets on the apron. Maybe has to say, but they just keep on wrecking. Then where it's unavoidable, it's going to take a massive shot. 2 massive licks. Look at where it has the wheel turned completely the opposite direction. Tucker McLennan's on board from the gyro cam. We can't get a quick word with Tucker. Tucker McLennan, Garrett Jenkins up here in booth real fast. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, buddy, just a victim of circumstance. Did you feel like you were going to get through on the outside and then it came back up?
Yeah. There was just no way. I was trapped. Unfortunate, but it happens.
Well, buddy, I wanted to ask you, it's still early in the race. I've asked this question 3 times, but a fast repair already been used, nothing else in the chamber. How is this stuff? Really, how is this going to affect all of MMS going forward with just about every car being involved in the first 2 incidents? None of y'all's making by no means, but how does this affect the whole team pretty much?
Well, I think some of us have had to burn our fast repair, some haven't. So I think what my thing is going to be now is we're about 2 laps short on gas right now. So I'm going to just kind of conserve and save and try not to have to pit again. So we'll see.
All right, buddy. Best of luck to you. Hopefully talk to you at the end of this thing.
All right, thanks.
Yep. Well, I was stuck at McLennan. Terry Wilson unable to be interviewed at the moment still. We're going to take a look at the top 5, and right now, Douglas Camp, Michael Wingo scored the leader. Camp would be second. Corbett third, Ambrose Knievel fourth, David Sheets in fifth. Behind them, Jessica Childs up to 7th. Joshua McCullough, Mark Vondale, Jeff Murray, 8th, 9th, and 10th is all MMS. David Sheets in MMS as well, up to 5th. Kenneth McCullough in 16th. Well, it's going to be something. All right, Michael Wingo, Douglas Camp brings them down to the restart zone. We're going again. Right on board, Michael Wingo. They'll thunder off for turn 2. Really a lot of jockeying. You see Von Dell on the apron. We talked earlier about the internet issues. Right now, side by side, for pretty much the first 3 rows. Michael Wingo getting pushed from Ambrose Knievel. Dega Pro driver getting pushed by a Blind Squirrel driver. Sean Corbett pushing the other Blind Squirrel driver. In Douglas Camp, who was ducked out to the bottom, cut Wingo off, and now Camp will officially lead his 5th lap of the race tonight with 29 laps to go. And really, the top 3 have not used the fast repairs so far tonight, but have been at the front just about virtually since the get-go, other than where they started. Well, right now, Michael Wingo surges ahead to the lead. The driver to 25 will lead his first laps tonight. What a great run from Michael. It was leading up to the SummerSlam 499. It was a very rough few weeks for the 25. Could not seem to finish the race or at least get through cleanly. Already been involved in 1 wreck, but right now the 25 still looking strong as they storm down the back straightaway. Ambrose Knievel jumps up with his teammate Douglas Camp. A big shot from the 408 to the 04. But Ambrose Knievel now to the lead. Well, Knievel set the fast lap of the race so far. You see drivers snaking their way down the back or down the front straightaway. At the line, give it to Wingo, barely. All right now, I think everybody now is just content on riding for a minute. We've had 2 early cautions. Right now, ride, try to get into the fuel window the best you can. Right now, Looks like both lanes are pretty even. Outside lane can build a run down the straightaway, but it looks like the bottom lane can really hold its own with these cars, at least here. See a couple drivers working their way back up to the front despite having a rough night. Well, I see Jeff Murray up there. Joey Mastowitz. Joshua McCullough's working himself back up. You got Richard Elliott lingering back there outside the top 10. Right now, drivers laying in wait. Well, Richard Elliott is actually 2 laps down in 20th. Knievel back down to the bottom of the track. He's going to cover Michael Wingo. Great run by Ambrose tonight. That 04. Of course, it's saying even a blind squirrel finds a beer once in a while. Right now, could that squirrel be finding itself the victory lane with 25 to go? We'll have to wait and see. I'll say this. It's going to be one happy joker if Ambrose Knievel walks out here winning tonight. But you can say the same for just about everybody in the top 5. Jeff Murray close how many times 2 weeks ago? Photo finishes in the 2 times he ran second. Sean Corbett looking to return to victory lane. Michael Wingo. Richard Elliott, another one, and then looking to return to victory lane. But the drivers that have not been to victory lane, at least since I started picking up this series, Ambrose Knievel, Douglas Camp, Jeffrey Ford, 11-incher working himself up to the front. How about Eric White as well? Just slingering outside the top 7. You see, Ford's looking to the outside. The Bay doesn't want to make it 3 wide right now. A lot of jostling, a lot of snaking down the back straightaway. Drivers looking out. Douglas Camp now back out front. Right now, Blind Squirrel Racing 1 and 2. Actually make it 3 if you count Jeffrey Ford. So there's at least. So Blind Squirrel Racing leading both lanes right now and in the top 3. Richard Elliott right behind him, followed by Eric Wright, Jason Branch, John Ward slowly creeping his way back into the picture. On the bottom, Douglas Camp, Ambrose Knievel, Michael Wingo, Sean Corbett, Jeff Murray, David Sheets. The list goes on. Right now, this is the waiting game. Tucker McClendon said they were 2 laps short. Right now, the pit strategy link. A lot of drivers pit under that last caution. Michael Wingo, however, was not one of them on a 13-lap run as it is. Make it 14. Meanwhile, Jeffrey Ford out front. Well, you gotta think, maybe this is what Ambrose wanted. 3 of his cars controlling one bottom lane. They know that they can push each other and all that. You see a lot of them snaking still down back straight. Richard Elliott, a big shove. Elliott not for position, now 0-2 on the outside lane. Right now, Elliott wanting one of his laps back. Right now, he might get if he plays strategy right, or if there's a caution, because I don't like how a lot of them are letting them walk up the track off the corners. Eventually, they're going to come together. 21 to go. Taking on a look back through the field. Austin Green, Jessica Child, Joy Masterwitz. There's Joshua McCullough. That's on back through the field. Green will jump up the outside lane. Good look at Austin Green. Of course, funny story surrounding Green. The first time I ever did a broadcast for MMS, I ruled this joker out after being involved in a wreck with 2 to go. Restarted 19th. I did not thank Austin Green would win that race proved me wrong that night in a spectacular drive to the front. So right now, Austin Green back there in the 8th spot. They see a little bit of contact. They're 3 wide. Man, they kept it straight. Kept it straight, but will Austin Green return to victory lane in HGR tonight? Well, right now, he's trying to form up that 3rd lane, tired of riding around, probably good on fuel, potentially. Of course, Green, another MMS driver. Right now, MMS's roster tonight consists of... Oh, no, he doesn't. Not yet. There they go. John Ward's around. Caution is out. John Ward. Thing he kept it off the wall. Does not appear to be a lot of damage, if any, to the 92. Probably just put 4 sets of tires on it, call it a day. Head back out there. Man. All right. Let's look at it again. All right, there you see a bit of a bad push from the 408 to the 95. From there, they're all checking up. Ambrose Knievel, look, he got through it. But right here, yeah, they're all checking up. Merrick swads up. Ward's lifting. Maybe a bit of net code off the 60. We'll rewind it and look at it, but Ward able to keep it off the wall. Well, for those who watched Sun Slayer 499, Ward just about avoided every wreck that there was in that race. Unfortunately, it was not the result that he wanted, finishing 18th. But this is just why the 92 is always a threat. Keeps it off the wall. If he locks it down, he'll probably slide. There's the net code. But then there's the contact from Jeff Merck. He's going to get into Ambrose Knievel. Knievel, lucky Ward does not take him out. The Dega Pros 92. A wild spin down at Daytona super stretch. Thankfully, he's going to keep it off the wall. So right on board with Ward through this. Hell of a save. Hell of a save. Well, John Ward is coming back out onto the racetrack. Apparently no damage done to the 92. Wait for him to get back out. See if we can't get a word with him. And John Ward, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you, Gary.
Well, wild slide. Reminiscent of all the slides that you were able to come out of in the 499 about a week ago. What's it going to... No fast repair, no damage. Are we going to see a 92 get back up there to the lead?
I'm going to try. That's for sure. Yeah, I was saving gas there. It was real close. I was just riding and saving, wasn't really pushing. But yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to turn it loose. We're going to go to the front.
I was about to say, you ain't close no more. Unfortunately.
That's right.
You're the reason why, but regardless, hell of a save. No, that, did you really sense it coming whenever they started getting bottlenecked down there on the bottom? Did you sense something would happen?
Yeah, they were all checking up, and I knew something eventually was going to happen. They were wiggly up there, but yeah, they all started checking up, and I guess a couple guys behind me didn't get woed up and just got turned there. Luckily, I didn't hit nothing, so we should be all right.
All right, buddy. Well, best of luck to you. I'll let you get ready for this restart.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. John Ward restarting about the 14th, 15th position. Well, Jason Branch is your leader in the 28. Actually, let's get a word with him. I ain't talking to him a lot. Jason Branch, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? Try this one more time. Jason Branch, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I'm
there
here.
There he is. Well, buddy, right now you out front leading the race. I'm going to ask, what's it going to take to keep this Navy Ford Mustang up here at the front for about another 15 laps?
I don't know, man. The way the race has been going, it doesn't seem like anyone can hold a line. So, I mean, maybe being up here in the front's the safest place to be, but I don't know. We're gonna see if we're good on gas. I should be about a lap and a half to the good. We'll see. We just hope no green white checkers.
Yeah, yeah. All right, buddy. Well, look, I'll let you get ready for this restart here.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Jason Brandt restarting in the first position tonight. Well, for this restart at least. Right now. Right now, you can see where your favorite manufacturer is running at. As of right now, Chevrolet not even in top 5. Gotta go to Michael Wingo in 6th. Kevin McCullough rallying back in the top 10. So is Murray McLennan. Ambrose Knievel went from 3rd to 11th following that caution. Right now, whenever they come back to it, Douglas Camp, Jason Branch will bring them to the restart zone. All right. Restart again. 15 laps to go for Daytona. And the way it seems, everybody should be good on fuel. Minus in overtime. Good to regulation. Great push from Joey to the back of the 28. Sean Corbett following right in tow. However, bottom lane not as organized as what they need to be. But watch that outside lane get the run right here. You see Childs way off. You see Masterwitz now jumps out down to the bottom. He's going to get hung out dry. He'll have John Ward coming up right to him. Right now, Camp back to the lead for the moment. Austin Green's worked up into the top 3. Green, Corbett, Wingo, these drivers. Well, other than Austin Green, who was in the back at one point, most of these drivers have been at the front that consist of the top 5. As Douglas now down the block, Brancher to get 3 wide behind. Right now, 64 Joey trying to pull that 3rd lane up. Bleeder about to get back 2 by 2. They are. James wearing in the wall a little bit. Well, Green's going to get a great push from Wingo down back straightaway. You see McCullough jumps out there 3rd lane with Jeff Murray in tow with him. 3 by 3 for the lead. Kenneth McCullough trying to get his luck back going. Of course, was not involved in the SummerSlam 499. Then a wreck to follow MMS the same night after the SummerSlam 499. That was the last broadcast for MMS on the Raging Idiot Racing Network. McCullough now is trying to get his luck turned around. Right now, he just fell all the way back to somewhere about the 9th, 10th position. I just don't think anybody's really ready to make that 3rd lane work. You see him trying it again. Ward a little bit sideways, getting pushed by Tucker McLennan. At 92. Well, we are not 92. Ward said he's ready to go all out with it. He's good on fuel now. Austin Green surges ahead. Austin Green now to lead his first laps of the race tonight. He will do it. 12 to go. Wingo looked out to the middle lane, thought better of it. Don't know if he expected Mert to go win him or what was the case. Probably showing, hey, I want to win this. Looks like further loose off the corner. 64 Joey jumps up to that 3rd lane. Ancient World Gaming number 64. On the run, Wingo to back it for, oh, Wingo hard into the wall. McCullough's involved, Merrick's involved. Jeff Merrick getting through. Jeffrey Ford's all torn up. John Ward a meatball flag. Tucker McClennan. Nina Matthew Patton in the grass. Michael Wingo, a great night going for the 25, appears to have just come undone. John Ward immediately to the pits, knows this is going to be a fast repair. Can't even get into his box there. Right front's completely killed. Well, while Ward tries to get into his pit box, let's exactly see what happened here. It's going to start at the front. It's going to actually start with Michael Wingo. Let's look and see. Looks like it just gets loose getting in. It's really what it looks like. Well, the other thing is you got to remember these cars with the dirty air like they are. Really don't like. Would not say that they feel like they're unstable when you're in the middle. See Joshua McCullough getting a piece of that. Patton's going to come back up, make contact with 25 again. How about Mark Vondell sneaking through in the bottom? James Waring. Close. Let's rewind it here. Down back straightaway. Calm, calm, calm. Then the car all starts starting to weave it all around the place. Gets loose entering. Has to check up. Merrick was not able to react from there. Massive, massive wrecks. You look at a drone camera, go through this. Nothing Ward could do, nothing Merrick could do. Just filling her lap to 95 hard into the outside retaining wall. Wearing through the grass to avoid it. Right on board with, actually let's ride on board with the 95 of Jeffrey through this. Hard hit. There you hear the engine brakes. It's done. If he hasn't already used his fast repair. The last one so we can cover the end of the coming to the green here. We're out on board with John Ward. But Ward has seen a lot of action tonight. Nothing Ward can do. Literally just falls right into his lap. Massive hit. Going to get hit all over the place. Look at the wheel. Already, it's severely damaged. It's going to get a McCullough trying to get through it. Massive damage to the 03. Well, Ward is back out onto the racetrack. However, Eric White still one lap down. Tucker McClennan out of the race tonight. He will join Chase Rockford and Terry Wilson in the garage. Jeffrey Ford one lap down after having to take his fast repair, but also towed back to the pits. Ken McCullough still in this. Want to get Michael Wingo's side of things, see what he felt in the car. Michael Wingo, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah.
Well, buddy, I want to ask you, what did you feel like happened entering turn 3? It seemed like the car was stable until you got put 3 wide, and then it looks like the car just started bouncing all over the place. What was your perspective of things?
Yeah, when I got 3 wide and was right there in the middle, it just started going back and forth, and I changed some of my settings when I went to the pit stops there to maybe where it won't do that again. But yeah, I couldn't control it when they were beside me. So,
Well, buddy, I'm gonna ask you this question real fast. I'm gonna let you get back ready. Can the 25 still make a run with 8 to go to get to the front?
oh yeah, I got a brand new car. I'm ready to go now.
All right, buddy. Best of luck to you. Michael Wingo got a lot of work to do to get back to the front. Appreciate your time, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Had to hurry up and drop him down. Ran out of time faster than I thought I was. Well, right now, Wingo will be starting 13th. Ancient World Gaming of 64. Joey brings them to the restart zone. Austin Green to his outside. We are rolling. Austin Green, a great push, but Joey went just as equal as a great push. Now behind Green, you got Sean Corbett, who is ready to return to victory lane. One of them that did not make it into the 499, if I'm not mistaken. Corbett has been a bad summer for the 45, right now in position to turn it around, potentially get to victory lane. David Sheets up there in the 06, the highest of, well, him and Austin Green are the highest of the McCullough Motorsports, or McCullough Racing, MMS for short. There we go. They're the highest. That's contact mid-pack. Joshua McCullough, Ward. Well, I was trying to say earlier, MMS right now, Green and Sheets, the highest running of the group, 2nd and 6th at the moment. So right now, Dega Pros leads with the Ancient World, number 64. Joey Masowitz down the back straightaway, getting pushed from Jason Branch, Ambrose Knievel. Directly behind him in that bottom lane, Jeff Merck trying to go 3 wide. Well, you can go 3 wide, but you got to be careful at this track. It's not as wide as Talladega, for say. And right now, tonight it's been evident you ain't got the room that you need to really handle 3 wide, especially with these cars looking like they're all over the place. Well, the moment a car gets 3 wide, it looks like the car just becomes unstable. Already seen that with Michael Wingo. Jason Branch to the lead now. Well, 6 to go, you got to make it 3 wide. At this late in the game, if you don't make it 3 wide, you're pretty much just saying, well, I'll just ride in the back. Drivers have got to start making moves. If you're somebody like Ward in the back, Richard Elliott back on the lead lap in 15th. Another one of them trying to make moves. Mark Vondell in 16th, 163 extra dollars on the line. They're about to go 4 wide. They're wrecking again. Caution is out. Knievel saves it. McCullough. Damage to the 03. Looks like he's batting into the wall. Unsure what happened there. Everybody pretty much got out of shape. Well, let's look back and see what. Oh, let's see exactly what happens here. Coming off of 4. Well, there, Mert gets turned simultaneously. Knievel almost sends Branch spinning into the inside wall. Well, there's a bad bunt. There's a bad bunt. Pretty much this guy's run out of room. Unfortunately, well, there's Kenneth does make contact with the inside wall. Lucky it ain't bigger than what it was. It's only Knievel and McCullough. Bam. Been a rough couple weeks for the 03 of Kenneth McCullough. We're right on board with him. Questionable into how bad that rear is going to be. Yeah, we switched Austin Green. My fault, but. Well, you can't get a word with the 03. See how bad the damage is. Kevin McCullough, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a quick copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, buddy, it's been a rough last couple of weeks since the, well, I reckon it's been a couple of weeks since the 499. It's been a rough week for you since the 499 in general. How bad is the damage we're looking at right now? Still some hefty dents in the 03.
Yeah, I got a clean car. I think I'll have a shot to get back up there if I can get a little bit of a good run here. Yeah, I felt like a magnet out here the last couple of weeks for sure. I think I've been hit by everything on the track but the pace car.
Well, buddy, it's been a very rough patch for you. I gotta ask, wanted a spell like this where, you know, in contention of wins, unfortunately these races don't fall your way or whatnot. How are you able to really rebound from that and just try to keep doing every race knowing that you've been on a cold streak here the last couple of weeks? Where does that put the 03 mentally for these races?
Yeah, I've been doing this money racing thing for 7 years plus, and I'm a big, it comes in waves, that's for sure. You're either going to have really good luck or you're going to have a spell of bad luck. But once the good luck turns around, it's usually lasts for a little while. So just waiting on it to turn.
All right, buddy. Well, hopefully it'll turn tonight. We'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir.
All right, Kim McCullough, restart from the back, still capable of winning this race. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
They probably get a little upset with me interviewing them during cautions and whatnot, but makes the broadcast roll. Great to get the driver's perspective during the race. Caution's about the only way to really do it. Well, this will not, so far they haven't made it overtime yet. Probably overtime. It's going to be 2 to go here. Yep. First attempt at a green-white checkered. Austin Green, Joey Masowitz, Jeff Murray, Jason Branch, Josh McCullough, David Sheets. Both of them had a wild night. 18 cars still on the lead lap. 18 cars still in contention to win. The drivers officially out of this race: Tucker McLennan, Chase Rockford, Terry Wilson, Eric White, Jeffrey Ford, 1 lap down. Right now you're looking at the highest MMS and Dega Pro drivers in Green and Joey. Both on the outside road, and they got teammates directly behind them. Jason Branch with Joey, Jeff Merck, Joshua McCullough. Directly behind Austin Green. You also got another MMS driver in David Sheets, the third car in that outside lane, the 06. Right now, MMS has a great chance with four of their cars in the top 5. We'll have to see how it plays out. Alright, first of 3 attempts. If they get to the third green-white checkered, no matter if the iRacing throws the caution, they are finishing it under green regardless. Even if there's a caution. So, we're guaranteed to finish it at race speed. 2 to go. Great jump by Green and Murray and McCullough. An awesome jump. It's even going to work out even better with Sheets dropping down to the bottom lane. And Joey did not get going at all. Right now, Green and Murray, 1 and 2 for MMS. McCullough side by side for the third spot. We're down and back straight away. Back Gladio up there in the 6th spot. That's 661. Right now he's going to judge that 3rd lane. So right now Branch and Joey needs all the help they can get. But here comes 661. Here comes Waring. Here comes Elliott. White flag. Whatever happens now happens. To wad them up in turn 1, it will not change. It's going to end under green regardless. James Waring trying to make that 3rd line work up top of that 13. Branch going to go with him. 3 by 3 off of turn 2 for the final time. Still Waring off the wall just a little bit. Right now they're not wrecking. Murray's going to duck out of line. He'll take a step forward. Joy. They're wrecking big. Sheets is around. Camp's around. They're all wrecking in the back. James Ware's going to get tagged by McCullough. We'll have to focus in on it after this race. But right now, Austin Green, Jeff Murray, Joey Master with Jason Branch at the line. Get your photo finished. Cameras ready, folks. Austin Green returns to victory lane. Jeff Murray, 2nd again. Jason Branch 3rd. Joey Master with 4th. How about Joshua McCullough comes home in a money position? Austin Green, the 87 GoPro Toyota, back to victory lane again. He'll pack it into the wall. Rather unique way, place to burn it down on the back straightaway. You can't get an interview with him. Austin Green, Gary Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, what's up, Gary?
Well, buddy, you tell me it was a great run. It was a very patient run for the 87 tonight. I mean, just take us through the whole race. In general, led 7 laps, but at the front, do you feel like, because we mainly run Talladega, do you feel like drivers kind of had Talladega in the back of their mind, kind of ain't as much space as what we're used to?
I think so, because we saw a decent amount of guys on the bottom kind of swerving, but I mean, that's just part of Daytona. As you said, it's not as wide, and I know sometimes at night it just, for some reason, seems to make things a little tougher. But at least with the Xfinity car, you get a little bit more of a chance on trying to go to the front. It seems like when we're here in the trucks, it stalls out, and I just feel like you have no shot at getting to the front when it gets that way. But it was a good race, and I mean, I was really happy that Jeff stayed with me there at the end. He basically was the only reason that I probably cashed in that race. If he jumps up and leaves me, I probably get buried on the bottom. So really appreciate him helping me out there at the end.
Yes, sir, buddy. It was awesome. It was a great run for all MMS. I got to ask, though, being that it was some caution field race, at some point did the strategy for the whole group kind of change as the race went on with the cautions and whatnot? And ultimately, how are you able to avoid most of them wrecks? There was a couple you barely snuck through on the bottom or on the outside.
Yeah, I think I agree. There was one, I didn't know if you guys caught it, but I was going through the grass to miss the wreck, and I don't know if I hit a bump or what, but I almost flipped just from hitting it. It was one of the wildest things I've ever felt. But I think once we got a couple of cautions, then it started to get close on fuel, I thought about saving, and then as soon as we got the next caution, it just became go to the front and try to stay there. Luckily, I had the fast repair, so I had a little bit more wiggle room to try to be aggressive at the end. But yeah, when you get cautions, and if you're not in the Gen 6 cars, it basically becomes about halfway through the race you need to start going to the front or you're not going to have enough time.
Well, I got two more questions for you now. I'll let you go. But the other question is, we did see on one incident, however, I want to ask you, being that you're in the scenario a lot, how did the cars really react going three wide? Did they like being in three wide? Did the air kind of mess them up aerodynamically, make them a little bit rough to handle? Because it just looked like the cars just were all over the place tonight, especially whenever they got into a three wide situation.
Yeah, when you get three wide, it definitely gets tough because I mean, as you mentioned, I mean, every lane now has turbulent air instead of just two of them. But I think that overall, there's no big issues there. I did feel like I noticed tonight, maybe I'm just kind of rusty, that a couple of the guys that I had pushing me were pushing in all the wrong spots and not pushing in any of the right spots, which it makes a big difference, and you can definitely notice it. I had Joey jump up in front of me at one point and pushed him the way I've always pushed in these cars and got him back clear of the lead easy. But it just seemed like when I was leading, I don't, like I said, know if I just was maybe a little rusty and couldn't hold it as straight as I thought, or if people just weren't quite pushing in the right spot, but definitely was getting sideways quite a few times there coming to the end.
Well, buddy, you're going to walk out of here tonight the winner. You're going to take home a little extra money in your pocket. Last question, and it's always the one that ends the interviews. Is there anybody you want to thank tonight? Friends, family, sponsors, etc. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I got to thank McCullough Motorsports, all the original guys, Kenny, Mark, David Sheets. Good to see him in there. Big thanks to Jeff. He was running in there tonight for helping me at the end. I don't know if I've said it before, but whether it's a teammate or somebody random, when he jumped out on the back, I have absolutely no problem with that because by that point, you've already kept me up front long enough to give me at least a good fighting chance. So to me, that's the same as basically pushing to a win. And then thank you for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to Jimmy for putting on the race. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, buddy. Austin Green's your winner tonight for HGR High Gear Racing, Ghost Racing Network. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now being joined, but man, he cannot wait to be interviewed every time the race is over. Jeff Murray, buddy, I'm going to ask you this question. At one point, does finishing second by a narrow margin get old?
Well, when first and second pays the same, I really don't care. I know it's about winning, but Austin Green's a real good kid. He's up there in Daytona going to school to be a meteorologist, stuff like that. So he needs the win more than I do. So good for him for getting the win. I moved out on the back straightaway to try to get the win, but the lane behind me fell apart. All I was going to do was change position with Austin, get down in front of him, and let him push me to the win instead of the other way around, but it all fell apart behind me.
Yeah, it did.
And, then I had to block, I don't know who that was coming through 3 and 4, but I kind of split the lane on him for a minute. That way he couldn't get around me on the outside and come down to give me a push, and we still finished 1-2.
Well, buddy, it was a great run. And I want to ask you this question, being that we run a lot of Talladega, more than what anybody gives us credit for. I mean, you look back over the list of races I've done for HGR, it's all been Talladega but one or two. But I wanted to ask, being that everybody's probably been used to Talladega a lot, do you feel like that has a factor into why we saw a few more wrecks than what we normally would, people trying to go three wide? Because it just is narrow enough for three wide. But what was your take on tonight with the cautions? And really, from your perspective, how did the cars really get affected being in a three wide scenario from your point of view?
Yeah, the 3 wide here is a little more sketchy. You just have to trust yourself when you go 3 wide. Don't panic, and you can run 3 wide here very easy. The biggest part is probably being Daytona night, because these cars more. I don't know if the hitbox is bigger on them at night because of the shadows. So you're kind of buffer off of each other. But most guys don't have a problem doing it. I just think some of the guys may have had their steering ratio set too high, so there was too much play in the wheel, so they was constantly fighting the wheel back and forth. That can happen a lot here at Daytona night. So, I mean, yeah, the cars are going to bounce around, and then people are so focused on, hey, I have to be perfectly square with the car in front of me, so they're chasing the car in front of them, and then the car behind them's chasing them, so it's like a big snake going down damn straightaways.
What do you
So,
feel? What do you feel
that's
like?
part.
Go ahead. Good.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. I was done anyway.
Do you feel like that was kind of the determining factor coming off of 2 about a couple cars ago when you and, well, of course, from what I saw, it was net code, but between you and John Ward, do you feel like that checkup on the bottom? Do you feel like it was drivers trying to be as precise as they can? Because we saw the 408 about wrecking, and then, of course, Ward got collected coming off of 2. What was your point of view from that race and from that wrecking? Do you feel like it's a very similar situation to what we saw tonight?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of, sort of. They get when people start wrecking, everybody kind of starts looking for somewhere to go, and then, like when somebody gets too high and they get in trouble, and then it's just a big chain reaction from there. It's not anybody's fault or anything like that. Like they just, like say, if you go into the corner and somebody is so focused on the car in front of them, they miss their entry, then they're 3/4 of a lane high. Then the guy above them is like, oh shit, or excuse my French, oh poop. So then they react, and then a person behind them reacts, and then a person behind them reacts. And by the time it gets 2 or 3 cars back, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until it just blows up. And then that's kind of what happens. And it's just all mayhem. You're just trying to dodge it and keep the nose pointed in the right direction. So that's kind of the way it works.
Well, buddy, last question, and then I'm going to let you get ready to head on out of here. Of course, I'm gonna throw a joke in there, but I know as much as your wife lets you race, I know she's ready for you to go ahead and get off the damn computer. But, but buddy, I will ask: is there anybody you want to thank tonight? Friends, family, sponsors, etc. The floor is yours.
Yeah. First and foremost, that wife you're referring to is just she loves being called the wife. So the wife inside watching the broadcast and cheering me on, I always appreciate that, and I love you. And I got one more race to run, and I'll be in there for us to watch a little TV. All my teammates over at MBG, teammates over at Catch Fence Motorsports, 760 Graphics for painting up this car for me. You guys up in the booth, Jimmy, for putting these little shorter money races on before the late races. I know sometimes he can get a little wound up about how the races go, but he can't control how us drivers drive the cars. So he just needs to put the races up and let the drivers be responsible for everything else. And I never can remember the name of your broadcasting channel, or Racing Idiots, or something like that.
Raging Idiot Racing.
Raging Idiots, that's it. Yeah, you guys, you always do a good job. Always look forward to go back watching the race. And one of these days, you'll be talking to me as a winner, not the second place finisher. But you never know.
All right, buddy. Jeff Mark, for the 3rd time in HGR in the last few weeks, we'll have to settle for a second place finish. Appreciate your time, buddy.
All right, man. See you.
Yep. That means so we'll get the 3rd man in here, and then we'll go through the remaining grid. Jason Branch, you got a copy, buddy?
I'm here.
Well, buddy, I wanted to ask you, was there anything you felt like you could have done different in them on that final restart, or potential anything you felt like you could have done to get yourself up 2 more spots tonight?
Not really. I was running there second on the top, and I saw that run coming from up top, and I had to stop that run, or none of us were going to play. So I had to go up, block that run up top, and then I was destined to be 5th or 6th, and then they all decided they wanted to wreck right behind me, so it was a drag race to the finish. But I couldn't have got around the guys at the line. If it would have been Talladega, maybe, but Daytona with the line being right there, I just pulled up behind the guy in front of me. I think it was Jeff Merck, and just tried to push him to the win. And I think we missed getting him to the win by a bumper.
All right, we'll look back at it here after the interview's over. But buddy, I want to ask, it was a crazy night tonight. I wonder if you didn't get a couple dents out of it throughout the race. Just take me through the whole night in general. Um, what is it? Really, what does it feel like seeing wrecking in front of you? I know what it feels like, but some of the ones that probably aren't able to iRace, they probably don't quite understand what it feels like. So what's it like? You're seeing smoke in front of you. The only issue is there ain't nowhere to go. How'd you pretty much just try to avoid what you could avoid, and then the ones you couldn't, they just fell in your lap?
I mean, like you said, you see smoke ahead. You hope the people behind you see it too. There are a bunch of people here on iRacing that drive straight down the hood of their car and don't look ahead. But so I mean, the first thing I do, I see smoke. First thing I do, look in the rearview mirror, see if I got an out. If I can go down, if I can go up. Tonight, that first one, I was right in the middle of it, and took my quick repair on, I think, lap 8. Was talking about maybe I'll just run in the back, try to be to where I'll be the guy in the back if I see the wreck, and I don't have to rely on somebody else to check up. But these cars are so equal that if you're not at the front, it takes so long to get to the front. I just kind of rolled the dice and said, you know what, I'm going to run up front, and there's less cars in front of me to wreck if I'm up front. So a couple of times they wrecked right beside me, and I got lucky. So I guess Lady Luck was on my side tonight, and I got through this one. But next time, it's almost a crapshoot with these cars.
Yeah, and it was, of course, very intense tonight, to say the least. They had like 5 cautions, which ain't too bad. I've seen worse, but wasn't too bad of a run tonight for you. Last question, then I'm going to let you go ahead and get on back to celebrate with a little bit extra money in your pocket. Is there anybody you want to thank tonight? Friends, family, sponsors, etc.? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I got, my teammates that don't really run these money races, I'm trying to get them to run, but 4X Racing out there. You do a heck of a job every time you're on the broadcast. Jimmy for holding these things. Jimmy for keeping the riffraff out, and making it a little more enjoyable to run these races. And I got one teammate that's been battling some health issues for the last year and a half, and we're hoping to get him back on the track here. But he's just been weak, and one issue happens, and then he gets that fixed, another issue happens. So we're hoping that he gets back out here. Casey Duncan, I'm going to name him out. Hope he gets back out here on the track, and I miss racing with him. So, yeah, thanks for the interview there, Jim Bob. You do a heck of a job, and hopefully I'll talk to you next time.
Yes, sir, buddy. Hopefully whenever you do, we'll be going up 2 more spots for tonight. But for tonight, Jason Branch will have to settle for a 3rd place finish. Appreciate your time, buddy. Hell of a job.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That being said, we'll go through the grid. We'll go through the results tonight from Daytona. For whatever reason it has Austin Green down at the bottom. Unknown why, but Austin Green down there in 18th. He was the first one across the line. He is your winner tonight. Jeff Mert will be 2nd, Jason Branch 3rd, Joey Messwitz 4th, Joshua McCullough 5th, Matthew Patton, Kevin McCullough, Richard Elliott, Michael Wingo, and Douglas Camp will round out the top 10. John Ward will technically be in 11th, Mark Vondale, James Waring, Jessica Child, Sean Corbett will round out the top 15. Ambrose Knievel was a great run for Blind Squirrel Racing tonight. Had several of his cars up there in the mix. Unfortunately, Knievel will have to settle for a 16th place finish. David Sheets, Eric White, Jeffrey Ford, and Joey Gladia will round out the top 20. The only cars not to be able to finish this race tonight, Tucker McClendon, Chase Rockford, and Terry Wilson will round out the field in the garage for tonight. Well, that being said, it was It's a fun night. It's a wild night. Always is at HGR. Encourage everybody to at least run one of these races. Jimmy Crow puts on a heck of a race every time. I believe the session has just now closed. There we go. With that being said, I got one more thing to announce. Bash at the Beach, August 17th, Super Late Models. Raging Idiot Racing Network Premium Live Event. $36 entry. If we can get 60 drivers, $500 to the winner. Obviously, you don't get 60. The price alters. A lot of payouts, though. 3 heats, 1 LCQ, 1 provisional. From 60 to 36 cars for 200 laps. So, you can submit a payment to any of the 3 guys at the bottom of the screen. And until then, HGR probably on tap tomorrow on a Thursday night. Until then, I will see each and every one of you again. Everybody have a good night.